Hello, everyone. This is Cindy Huber with the National Kidney Foundation of Wisconsin. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is our February Living Well Before and After Transplant program, and in honor of Heart Month, our speaker tonight will address a variety of issues, and we're very excited to welcome him to our program. We're also very happy to work with our partners at the American Liver Foundation, the Upper Midwest chapter, and we're joined tonight by Chad Dunning, who is the program director. So Chad, I don't know if you are able to unmute yourself and just say hello to everyone before I introduce our guest speaker.
Hello, everybody. This is Chad. Just wanted to thank everybody for coming on tonight. Hope everybody is staying warm and safe out on the roads if you do have to go anywhere. But once again, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks, Chad. It's been great working with our partners at the American Liver Foundation. And so I'd like to welcome someone I consider a new rock star tonight, and that's Dr. Fahad Aziz from the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Dr. Aziz, I can testify, has worked very, very hard on his presentation tonight and has been quite diligent to address issues that I think are relevant for recipients of all organs. We'll have a chance tonight, and we have two awesome volunteers that are helping us moderate tonight's meeting as it relates to your questions. So please feel free and to type in questions in the chat session, and Merle Steelman, who is joining us tonight, and if you will, running the meeting, and John Hacker, who is also an avid volunteer with the National Kidney Foundation and is assisting us. They'll watch for your questions. But Dr. Aziz, I can't thank you enough for joining us tonight, just a few days out from Valentines, to talk about how we can all love our heart.
Hello, hello everyone. It's Fahad Aziz here. Cindy, thank you very much for your kind words. Um, and I'm very thankful to National Kidney Foundation to give me a chance to talk to all of you tonight. Just a few days ahead of Valentine's Day, um, we are going to talk about the heart health. We're going to talk about the heart health today, just few days away from the Valentine's Day. As you all know, as Cindy introduced me, I'm from assistant professor with the transplant medicine, with Division of nephrology here at University of Wisconsin. My topic today, I will talk about some heart health in our transplant recipients. Um, and I have divided my talk into three major parts. In the first part, I will talk why it's important to know about the heart health, especially the transplant recipients. The second part of my talk would be more about why the transplant recipients are at increased risk for cardiovascular disease. In the last part, I will talk about some simple lifestyle modifications to prevent those cardiovascular events. So let me start with my first.
Dr. Aziz, is it possible for you to turn your mic up some?
Sure. Can you hear me better now?
No, still can hardly hear.
How about now?
Excellent.
Excellent. Okay. So I was saying that I have divided my talk into three major parts. In the first part of my talk, we'll talk about why it's important to know the heart health, especially in transplant recipients. In the second part, I will talk why the transplant recipients are at increased risk for for cardiovascular events. In the last part of my talk, I will talk about some simple lifestyle modifications which can improve our cardiovascular mortality. So let me move to the first part of the talk, um, which is about why it's important to know about the cardiovascular risk. I will start with some simple definition, which most of us may know. What are the cardiovascular disease? So, cardiovascular disease is a spectrum of diseases where we have decreased blood flow to the vital organs. Or vital organs include heart, brain, eyes, kidneys, and the legs. So basically, anything which is
Uh,
linked with the decreased blood flow.
excuse me, Dr. Aziz, you're still breaking up a good deal. We can hear you now, but it's kind of cutting in and out.
Okay. Is it better now? So cardiovascular diseases are basically anything to decrease blood flow to any of the vital organs. The vital organs include heart, brain, eyes, kidneys, and legs. Why there is a decreased blood flow to these vital organs? There's a phenomenon what we call atherosclerosis. So it's basically um, uh, development of a cholesterol plaque inside our arteries, which lead to narrowing of our arteries, resulting in decreased blood flow, and that what lead to cardiovascular disease. Among the spectrum of these cardiovascular diseases, the most important of them is, is coronary artery disease. So coronary artery disease means when there's a decreased blood flow to the heart. If we develop those cholesterol plaques within our coronary arteries that lead to decreased blood flow to heart, which can present as multiple ways. It can be angina, meaning just the chest pain. It can be heart attack. It can lead to irregular heart rate. And if you don't fix it, it eventually leads to weakening of heart, what we called as a heart failure. Now coming to the transplant recipients. This slide was taken from USRDS. So USRDS is the United States Renal Data System, which collects the data on the patient with chronic kidney disease, with end-stage renal disease, and the transplant. So as per the USRDS data, the number one cause of death in the kidney transplant recipients is usually related to cardiovascular disease. If you look at this pie chart, the 30% people die with a cardiovascular disease with a functioning graft. We all know that infections are very common in our transplant patients, but if looking at this pie chart, the risk for infection is fairly low as compared to cardiovascular disease. If we also talk about the liver transplant patients, the risk for cardiovascular disease in liver transplant patients is fairly high. As per few studies, cardiovascular diseases account for second or third leading cause of death in the liver transplant patients. Let me move to the second slide, which basically shows the incidence of cardiovascular diseases after transplantation. This is a study which was done, which is a Korean study. Um, the study shows that as we go far from the time of transplant, our risk for cardiovascular diseases go high. If we look at this graph, um, the incidence of cardiovascular disease in transplant recipient was close to 2.4% at 5 years, which goes up to 5.4% in 9 to 10 years. And when they cross the 10-year, it goes up to 11.4. So you can see a huge jump from 5.4% to 11.4% when they cross the year 10 after transplant. So this slide signifies that the risk for cardiovascular disease goes fairly high after the transplant. And every passing year, our risk for getting a cardiovascular diseases go high. Let's talk about the transplant organs and heart. So we know we have kidney transplant recipients today, we have liver transplant recipient, we have lung transplant recipient, and we have pancreas transplant recipient. How heart interact with these transplant organs is very important to understand. In common word, I will explain it as a love relation with a transplant organ. So love relation means if your heart is not happy, your transplanted kidney is not going to happy, your transplanted liver is not going to happy, or your lungs and pancreas won't be happy. And it's a vice versa. If your transplant organ is not working, for example, if your kidney is not happy, your heart is not going to happy. So get both the organs working fine. We need to keep our heart working. We need to have our transplant organ working. That will lead me to the second part of my discussion, which is why all the transplant recipients are at increased risk for cardiovascular disease. If we look at the risks for cardiovascular disease, we can divide them into two major components. There can be non-modifiable risk factors and there can be modifiable risk factors. The non-modifiable risk factors include age, your sex, your family history. Those are the risk factors which we cannot really change. These are risk factors we got and we cannot really do anything about it. However, we have other group of risk factors which can be modifiable. These include hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, and physical inactivity. Looking closely into these risk factors, there's a one good thing we can notice that the modifiable risk factors are much more than non-modifiable risk factors. So it means we can modify those risk factors and can improve our cardiovascular health. But the bad thing, what we can see here, all these modifiable risk factors are much more intensified in the transplant recipients as compared to the general population. In the next few slides, I will explain why they are more intensified in the transplant recipients. Let's look at this slide. We have noticed this, that the people who get transplant, especially the kidney transplant, they are high risk for gain a lot of weight. And the reason behind it is when people have advanced chronic kidney disease or people are end-stage renal disease, they have a high urea in their blood. The urea has a property that it suppresses appetite. So people lose a lot of weight when they are on dialysis or when they have advanced chronic kidney disease. When we place a kidney in, the kidney takes care of urea right away. So there's much more improvement in uremia. And on the same time, the long-term steroids, those combination of those two things lead to improved appetite and which eventually lead to excessive weight gain in our transplant recipient. As per one estimate, more than 70% transplant recipients gain their weight after the transplant. And this excessive increase in weight can lead to uncontrolled diabetes, high cholesterol, and uncontrolled blood pressure. And then we all know that the transplant, over all transplant recipients are on specific immunosuppression regimen, and most of them are usually on tacrolimus and cyclosporin, which belongs to CNI group of immunosuppression. These medications are very hard medication on the body. They are not a gentle medication, and they interact with different things in a very different fashion. We know that the people on tacrolimus and cyclosporin for a long term, they can have deranged, they can derange their metabolic profile. Tacrolimus can lead to uncontrolled blood sugars, and we know that many transplant recipients develop a new onset diabetes after transplant because of tacrolimus or cyclosporin use. On the same time, they also lead to increased cholesterol. Most of the transplant recipients end up on different kind of statins to have their cholesterol under control. And these medications, considering being very strong vasoconstrictors, means they can constrict your blood vessels, can lead to uncontrolled blood pressure. So these immunosuppression medications keep people at a higher risk for deranged metabolic panel, which eventually lead to poor cardiovascular health. But on the same time, we know that we cannot really do anything about immunosuppression. We have to keep taking tacrolimus. We have to be on specific immunosuppression regimen to get our organs going. That what I usually call the immunosuppression is like a lifeline for us. We cannot really do anything about it. So the only way we can improve our cardiovascular health is doing a lot of lifestyle modifications. So this will lead me to my next and most important section of this discussion, the lifestyle modifications. I will talk about a few important lifestyle modifications which can keep our heart healthy and get us going. Let's talk about the eating habits. Why eating habits are essential for healthy heart. We know a few things that eating good. We all know eating healthy is always good for heart. So our job is basically whenever we're going to market to buy our groceries, we need to know what's the right thing to buy and what's the right quantity of it. Those two things are extremely important in our transplant recipients, and I will come why it's important. Um, Whenever you are in markets and you are buying, you need to be very smart about it. You need to limit your beverages and foods which are high in sugars. You should cut back on high caloric bakery products and always try to remove some skin from the poultry before eating. Similarly, I always recommend people, whenever you're buying something, you need to have a look at the sodium content of the food. Um, we There are varieties of processed food which are very high in sodium, so we need to avoid it. We have to be very smart about it. We should know the sodium content whenever we're buying our food. These are the good food habits which I always tell my patients. You should eat healthy. Means healthy meals are always good, even if you have to take 3 or 4 times a meal. That should be perfectly fine. But that should be a healthy meal, and there should not be any snacks in between the meals. So if you want to have a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, that should be perfectly fine. But there should not be any snacks in between. And then the most important thing is that there should be a gap of at least 2 hours between your dinner and the bedtime. Just imagine if you eat and you go to your bed right away, it means whatever you have taken is going to be the fat. It will be convert to the fat and stay in your body. So that's why it's one of the healthy habits. Avoid going to the bed right after the dinner. These are few tips. Always remember, eating is making eating an activity in itself. Make it a habit to make a list whatever you want to eat, what foods you like. Before beginning of your week, you can make a list of foods you like to eat. Always focus on the things where you can reduce your cholesterol, where you can limit your sodium intake. Always stay positive, even if one day you don't follow your list, that's still okay. And always take small steps. Always remember the small steps does matter. These are the few resources for healthy eating habits. This is one of the apps, My Net Diary. You can load this app on your cell phone, on your Android, and basically keep a track of your calories and the activity levels you have in 24 hours. So you can balance them. And I will come to activity level after this section. It's very important to have a balance between the food you eat and the activity level you have. If you have any questions about the food, you can always contact your transplant centers. All transplant centers usually have dietitian, and they can provide you with the good, healthy food options. This is another website which you can go and get some good resource for healthy eating habits. And then the National Kidney Foundation website, we have a good nutrition page, which is very specific to our transplant recipients. Um, how about weight? As I mentioned earlier, it's very easy for people to gain weight when after the transplant, and the reasons are very obvious. The long-term use of steroids itself, and then correction of uremia leads to better appetite, and people gain a lot of weight. Means it's very common to gain weight within few months after the transplant. But remember, excessive fat in our body can lead to deranged metabolic panels, which is not good for our heart. These include high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, high triglyceride, and diabetes. It's also very common to develop diabetes after transplant, and the reason are twofold. Number one, the immunosuppression we are taking, and number two, the excessive food we are eating. This is extremely important that you should always balance your diet and exercise. You don't want to eat too much and not doing much exercise. So it's always a good balance between a diet and exercise, which should be achieved to have a healthy life. As per one estimate, even if you lose 10 to 20 pounds, that will help to decrease your heart health. And I always tell people that you always have to make a diary for your weight, and you should track your weight. Even losing 1 to 2 pounds over 1 to 2 months is a very reasonable goal. It looks very small, but losing a small amount of weight every few months should be a very reasonable goal. You should always stay focused and always take small steps. American Heart Association recommends that there should be a 30 to 60 minutes of physical activity on most of the days of the week. It looks a lot to me. So what I tell people that they should get on treadmill every day, at least 5 to 10 minutes. Even if they cannot do it every day, 3 to 4 days a week can do the trick. There's also an app on all the iPhones with the name Health. It's always a good start to have a look at this app and see how many steps you are taking every day. Usually, roughly for a healthy person, 10,000 steps per day is a good start. What I tell people that by the evening, they should check the app and see how many steps they have taken. If it's less than 10,000, they should walk to make it 10,000. Achieving 10,000 steps a day can be a very good start, um, uh, and it's a very good step toward a healthy heart. As you guys all know, smoking is not good for our heart. Um, Always, try to quit smoking to get towards a healthy heart. Smoking is not good for us for multiple reasons. It doubles the risk for heart attack. It reduces oxygen in the blood. It damages blood vessels. It contributes to high blood pressure, and it contributes to to low levels of HDL, which is a good cholesterol in our body. So there is not even a single advantage of smoking. Smoking has multiple injurious effects to our health. That's the bottom line. If you smoke, you need to get the help that you want, and you need to quit the smoking. There are a few things which is very important while you're thinking of quitting smoking. Number one, you need to make an agreement with yourself. Your willpower is the main factor here, and your willpower is the factor which will help you quit smoking. Um, that's the first step to do. If you are ready for that, you can get the help from your doctors, and you can join different kind of programs that can help you quitting the smoking. You're a fighter, so you should be able to fight the urge to smoke. Always reward yourself. If you succeeded in quitting smoking, that's something huge you have done. Um, while in the process of quitting smoking, always remember you're a fighter. You can do it. You have come a long way, so you can do it. People ask questions about e-cigarettes, vaping. Vaping is basically inhalation and exhalation of aerosol, which is a product of which is produced by the e-smoking. These are also not recommended in our transplant patients. The reason being, they're not the water vapors. They consist of very fine particles, which can be very toxic chemicals. These chemicals can cause cancers, respiratory and heart diseases. And on top of all those things, we don't know how our immunosuppression medications are going to act with these toxic chemicals. They can increase the level of over immunosuppression. They can decrease the level of over immunosuppression. So as we don't know what kind of specific toxic chemicals they have, it's highly recommended that the transplant recipients should not use e-cigarettes in an attempt to quit smoking. For a healthy heart, it's very important to say no to the stress. Handling stress poorly increases your risk for heart disease. Always remember to keep yourself away from stress. You have to set very realistic goals for yourself. Always reject excessive demands on your time, and you need to learn how to relax. You should know some breathing techniques and meditation and exercise. So meditation basically means you need to have a healthy habits or healthy hobbies to keep yourself away from stress. Those hobbies can be gardening, which is a combination of exercise itself and keeping yourself away from stress. Similarly, reading books is also a good habit to keep yourself away from the stress. Always remember, you are the one who has to recognize that if you're getting too much stress, and if you feel like it's too much stress, you can always get help from your transplant center. And no matter how far you are from your transplant, you can always pick up your phone and call the transplant center. All the transplant centers have their social workers or psychologists who can help you find some local counselors or local, local mindful classes, which can basically help you to overcome the stress. And overcoming the stress is one of the ways you can get yourself a healthy heart. And none of our talk, healthy heart talk, is incomplete. It's complete without talking about the blood pressure and diabetes. So good blood pressure control is extremely essential for a healthy heart. For good blood pressure control, you should avoid excessive salt intake, and I cannot stress it more that your salt intake should be limited unless your doctor tells you the other way. Another way to get the blood pressure in a good shape, get in the habit of walking. Goal should be you should walk for 30 minutes, and those 30 minutes can be divided into 10 minutes 3 times a day. You should avoid oily food. You should eat healthy. You should avoid snacks. And one of the reasons of avoiding snack is that most of the snacks we have are very rich in the salt. A few important things you should know about your blood pressure. You should always talk with your doctor about the target blood pressure. Um, in the old days, we always used to target a blood pressure of 120 over 80 as a very standard blood pressure. However, this has changed now, and we know that the blood pressure goals change with your age. For older people over 60, we usually try to target a blood pressure which is a little higher, Sometimes even we target a blood pressure of 140/90. And for younger people, we usually target a lower blood pressure. So always check with your doctor that what's your blood pressure range. This is also important that you should know the right medications you are taking for your blood pressure, and the timings for those medications should be always, you should always discuss with your doctor about the timings. There are certain medications which are better when they're taking at the night time, and there are certain medications which are better taking during the daytime. So you should know the right timings of those medications. And the least, and this is also extremely important that you should know the right way to check your blood pressure. You should know the right cuff size for you to get the good blood pressure readings. Similarly, the timings for checking the blood pressure is extremely important. Um, in the old days, we used to tell people that they should check your blood pressure first thing in the morning, which is changed now. What I usually recommend people, if they want to keep a track of their blood pressure, the right way to do is check their blood pressure 2 hours after their breakfast when they have taken their medications. For example, if you have your breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning, you should have checked your blood pressure by 10 or 11 a.m. So check the blood pressure in the mornings for the first 2 days of the week, like Monday and Tuesday. And the next 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, check your blood pressure in early afternoon. You can check it by 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. The last 2 days of the week, Friday and Saturday, check your blood pressure later in the day. It can be 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Make a log of those blood pressures so that your doctors know at what time your blood pressure goes high and they can make an adjustment um, as per the blood pressure readings. The reason we don't recommend checking the blood pressure first thing in the morning because we all know now that there's a lot of hormonal surge in our body which lead to a high blood pressure. And we don't want to treat that blood pressure because if we treat that blood pressure, we can get lower blood pressure later in the day. And the most important thing, diabetes. Good diabetic, we know that most of our transplant recipients are diabetic, and a good diabetes control is extremely important for a healthy heart. You should know your A1C target. For most of the transplant recipients, we usually target a level of A1C that should be less than 7, because we know an A1C less than 7 is less damaging to your kidneys. And if you have a trouble in getting a level of 7, you should always ask your endocrinologist. Endocrinologists, they have a lot of tricks to do, and we can achieve a target A1C of less than 7. Simple modification like watching your diet and being very active, having a walk every day can lead to a good diabetes control. And we know that diabetes is #1 cause of kidney failure in US, and we got a brand new kidney, so we don't want this diabetes to be an enemy of your transplant organ. And even with the heart transplant or the lung transplant, we want to have a good control of diabetes so that diabetes is not going to damage your transplant organ. This is my one of my lessons from today's talk. You should always know that whenever you are going to a doctor, your primary care physician, or any other specialist, that you should mention that you are a transplant patient. No matter how far you are out of the transplant, no matter if it's 10 years out, 20 years out, your doctor needs to know that you are a transplant patient. And the reason behind it is um, that we want to make sure whatever your doctor prescribes the medication, they are still safe for your organ, #1, and #2, they're compatible with your immunosuppression regimen. Sometimes when your primary care has questions about starting you any medication, you can always check with the transplant center to know if that medication is safe in the transplant recipients. Specifically, if you have cancer and you're going for a chemotherapy, those are the things we need to know to adjust immunosuppression. Similarly, um, joint pain, similarly going for a surgery, your transplant center need to know about it so that adjustment in immunosuppression can be done. It's my last slide. Just think, you have come a long way. You are a fighter. You got a new organ. It's a huge surgery. You have been sick. You're very fortunate that you got a good working organ and you're back to your feet. And always remember, you mean a lot to your families, friend, and all of us. Always love your heart, be healthy to keep going. And happy Valentine's Day, everyone. This talk is right in its time. We want everyone to have a healthy heart on the Valentine's Day. I'm open for questions now. I already have a few questions in front of me. Let me answer those questions, and then I will take other questions from you. Um, so the first question I have is, let me speak loud. Question is, should we stick with the same brand of tacrolimus forever? Some dispensers switch off generic brands of other meds. So tacrolimus comes under different brands. Those brands include tacrolimus itself, Extrograph, Astrograph, and so there's some long-acting tacrolimus and some short-acting tacrolimus. But switching a brand from one brand to other brand should not affect anything. It's all about which brand is good for you. For example, if you're getting a lot of side effect from the short-acting tacrolimus, sometimes we switch it to long-acting tacrolimus, which is Astrograph, which is usually taken once a day and usually have less symptoms. So if we change from one brand to another brand, the reason is usually the symptoms. If you are doing okay with the short-acting tacrolimus, that should be okay. The second question I have here is, what fruits or other foods should we stay away from? So yes, so usually is recommended is the grapefruit, star fruit, you're right, and pomegranate. These are the fruits we usually recommend to stay away from. The reason being, um, they have interaction with tacrolimus. So um, so um, so for because of this interaction with the tacrolimus, sometimes they decrease um, the absorption of tacrolimus, which leads to lower level of these medications. And the lower drops of tacrolimus can lead to rejection of those organs. So that's why it's highly recommended that we should not have those fruits. And similarly, whenever there's certain foods which are not recommended in transplant patients, specifically any uncooked raw food. For example, sushi is highly unrecommended. Uncooked eggs or any products of the eggs or cheese which is not cooked is not recommended for the transplant people. Then I have the next question regarding the pain medication. So Tylenol should be okay in terms of kidneys. It's really one of the medication which is recommended for as a pain medication for kidney transplant recipients. But liver transplant is a little more tricky. Baby aspirin should be okay. We usually put people on aspirin right after transplant. So, the other medication, the other NSAIDs, including ibuprofen, Advil, or Motrin, are highly discouraged in the transplant patient. The reason being they have only one kidney, and these medications lead to severe decreased blood flow to the kidney. So they are recommended not to take those medications. But baby aspirin should be okay. I have a few more questions here. So the next question I have is self-sept drug enforces to take medication before. Yes, so that's an old practice. Usually the self-sept was recommended before that. It should not be taken with the meals. The thought process was um, if the if the food can decrease the absorption of self-sept or mycophenolate from the GI tract, which is no more recommended now. So you can have self-sept or mycophenolate even with the food, and that should be perfectly okay. The next question I have is about, okay, so egg and cheese meat uncooked, eggs, any products, any products which contain uncooked eggs. It should be discouraged. Basically, we don't want to eat anything which is not cooked. That's a simple principle. The next question I have is Advil is not okay. Advil, Motrin, high dose aspirin, and ibuprofen are usually not recommended in the transplant patients. The Tylenol should be okay. The Tylenol should be okay. The second question I have, the next question I have is the effect of secondary smoking. Yes, so the secondary smoking, even what we call passive smoking, has a bad impact on your health. So you should avoid it as much as you can. Um, there are a few studies done which shows that the primary smoking and the secondary smoking have almost the same effect. They are not good for your lungs and they're not good for your heart. Any other questions for me? The next question I got is heart health different for women than for men? To a certain degree, uh, if the age is less than 50, men are at higher risk for heart disease as compared to women, um, and that's because of the hormonal changes. The hormones female have usually have a very protective effect on the heart. So it's very uncommon to have a heart attack in women before age 50. However, um, people who have the transplant recipient, especially the kidney transplant recipient or liver transplant recipient, because of their underlying disease, they may have a higher risk for heart disease as the men have. But we all agree on one thing that after age 50, the risk between the heart, the cardiovascular risk between men and women is equal. So regarding egg and cheese, so the eggs should be boiled. Um, the boiled egg is uh, the unboiled egg. Let me say this way is really not recommended for the transplant patient. So we want them to be boiled before we use it. The next question I have here is, do you recommend home monitoring for blood pressure? Yes, I definitely recommend home monitoring for the blood pressure, but we should know the right timings for the blood pressure. And as I recommend, there should be specific times when we should measure the blood pressure. Let me repeat it again. So I recommend usually that people should take the blood pressure in the morning, but not the first thing in the morning. It should be 2 hours after your breakfast and after having your blood pressure medications. And that should be done just once, and like maybe the first 2 days of a week. Then you should have check the blood pressure in the afternoon, and the last thing, last 2 days of the week, you can check your blood pressure later in the day. And you should also know the right cuff size for your blood pressure meter. Smaller or the bigger cuff can give you false blood pressure readings. And if your blood pressure is ranging high, then you should contact your transplant center. There may be some adjustment may need to be done. The next question I have is the uric acid level and the gout. Yes, the uric acid level is the high uric acid levels are fairly common. Um, the high uric acid levels are common in transplant patients. So usually the recommended level for uric acid is 7. We want the level to be less than 7. Um, and previously we believed that we cannot give them the gout medications. So most of the old transplant patients, they were not on allopurinol, which is one of the gout medication. But now we know that allopurinol is fairly safe. And we do recommend, even if the level goes up to 10 without any gout, we do recommend that there should be an allopurinol to get their levels down. The second thing about gout in the transplant recipient is the use of colchicine, which is one of the gout medication. which is one of the gout medications. And the colchicine is usually not recommended in the transplant recipient. So if somebody has acute gout attack, what we can do is that we usually give them a small pulse of steroids. They're already on most of the immunosuppression regimens include prednisone, so we just go high on the prednisone dose, and then we taper it off over a few days. That's really the treatment we usually recommend for any acute gout attack in the transplant recipients. Any other question for me? I'm sorry, I think there's some issue with the connection, but let me know if you guys miss anything. I would be more than happy to repeat it. So for gout, let me explain you again. For gout, let me explain gout again. I think I was misunderstood. So for gout, so gout has it's a two-phase treatment for gout. Number one, prevention, and number two, treating acute gout. So let me talk about acute gout first. So if somebody has acute gout means if they have a lot of pain in their joints from the high uric acid level, what we usually recommend is to take a higher dose of steroids. So most of the transplant people are on prednisone. So what we do is that we increase their prednisone, for example, from 5 milligrams to 40 milligrams for a few days and then taper it off for a few days. So that's really a treatment for acute gout attack in the transplant recipient. However, we do not recommend any other medication like colchicine in the transplant recipient. The second step is the preventive measures for the gout. So, so allopurinol, which is one of the medication which decrease the uric acid level, we can use this medication in the transplant recipient. Yes. Previously, we believed that we could not use it, so most of the transplant people were not getting that medication. But now we know it's very safe medication to use. So we actually use those medication in people who have a uric acid level over 10 to prevent any kind of gout attack. I hope that answered the question. Yes. Um, next question I have is prednisone also the met for cellular rejection? That's right. Most of the immunosuppression regimen, including kidney transplant, liver transplant, lung transplant, or a heart transplant, or a pancreas transplant, we have a prednisone as a part of standard regimen. If somebody has a rejection, especially the cellular rejection, the treatment is usually giving high dose steroids. We usually start, if somebody has a rejection, we usually start with IV steroids, which are very high dose IV steroids. And then usually day 2 or day 3, we switch them to oral prednisone, and then we taper them off over the course of a few days. Any other questions for me?
Dr. Aziz, this is Cindy. I just want to say thank you so much for joining us this evening. This was a great opportunity. I have to ask, though, is there one thing that you're working on for your heart health in 2019? Oh, perhaps he's already muted. So anyway, I apologize for some of the audio for everyone, but I think
questions specifically for the heart health in the transplant people.
I didn't hear your whole comment, Dr. Aziz. Well, I think we have come to the end of our program. I hope that you can hear me. This is Cindy Huber with the National Kidney Foundation of Wisconsin. Dr. Aziz, I want to thank you very much for all the time you took in preparing for tonight, the time you spent with us. We will have a recording of this program as well as the PowerPoint that was presented tonight on the National Kidney Foundation of Wisconsin website. We want to thank Merle and John for their technical assistance, and I want to thank all of you for joining us. Our March program, these are monthly programs. They are always broadcast. Our March program will be, I'm just turning my calendar, will be on Tuesday, March 12th, and we'll be doing a follow-up in terms of heart health, but focusing more on food, especially related to some nutrition kinds of things. That program, hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate, so not only will you be able to listen online, but you'll also be able, for those of you in the greater Milwaukee area, be able to attend. Very graciously, our friends at the American Liver Foundation have a great conference room in their West Allis office. And so that, again, the address, etc., will be on our website. You'll receive an email about that program. But again, Dr. Aziz, thank you for joining us, and for all of you that were able to join us tonight, thank you and good night.